guys, it's Dan from Generation Productions, and this is my theory about the coronavirus as well. Part 2, as everyone's seen the coronavirus theory, I had part 1, and I still got this, really, I feel like this theory is definitely a possibility of what the hell's going on with it. I still believe that the coronavirus was started by some sort of pesticide, like maybe some sort of, maybe all three, maybe 4 or 5, I don't know, like a herbicide, a pesticide, maybe even an insecticide, I don't know, but I really got this feeling that there was some sort of like chemical that the animals, like bugs and things, died, the animals ate that, they got intoxicated, and then it was actually passed on to animals and other animals and people. Example of this happened is the fact of there's actually deer dying, you know, in I think Russia, somewhere around there, or you know, somewhere around one of the areas that have been affected by the coronavirus. Interesting enough, where basically these deers were convulsing, having their insides, internal bleeding and various things, and they just died, and no one can understand, you know, why these deer were dying, because they were dying from an unknown cause. Now, I reckon I've solved that case with that coronavirus thing too, because it's in the coronavirus area. I'm pretty much sure, if people want to go look up that article, I don't know if I can find it again. It was on one of my other videos, so people can go look it up. But here's my basic little theory in a nutshell. Also, I went to a doctor recently to get some tests done. See if I was in tip-top shape, even though I may be, not exactly, fat and all, and not really fully in peak physical condition. But other than that, I'm perfectly fine. Thanks for asking. No one asked, but anyway, just thought I'd tell you, I'm fine. But I did ask this doctor about, is my theory plausible about it? And first, I'm not going to mention the doctor's name, but yes, he said my theory was actually plausible. So basically, how I figure this is I asked the question: is it possible that the coronavirus was passed from an insect to an animal to another animal? Is it so? And is it possible that it could have gone that way? And he said yes. His response was yes. It's so plausible. It is plausible that possibly a chemical could actually cause a reaction like that, like an insecticide or some sort of thing could cause a virus to exist. Chemicals, like I said, some sort of chemical could cause a virus to mutate and exist. So I talked with that doctor about it, and he said yes, that theory was plausible. That a poison on one animal or insect could then pass into another animal and mutate, causing a virus. So my theory is that a pesticide or insecticide or both, a new one, could have infected, like a new, some sort of pesticide or herbicide, or a new one, like a whole new chemical was made to get rid of all these bugs and things. Both a new one that could have infected, by bugs, and then the things like the bats and the pangolins could have eaten those bugs that had the chemicals sprayed on them, and that's what then their bodies tried to counteract the poison, hence creating a virus to combat this is theory, combat the toxin, create a virus, and then the virus was passed from animals. An example of this is similar, I might add, the process of passing one disease from one animal to animal is proven by the kingfisher. An example of this is the Ross River virus. The Ross River virus, go Google it. was passed from a kingfisher to the mosquito. And then also another example of this is the fleas on rats are responsible for the Black Plague. So then the passing from animal to animal is done. So, but still, what about the insecticide or pesticide that I reckon could have been sprayed on these the plants or the animal or the insects that these animals were eating? It's definitely a plausible catalyst for a virus. It is plausible. But the most common theory is that the virus is caused like a salmonella infection. Basically, salmontosis, I think that's how it's pronounced, salmontosis, is a common bacterial disease that affects the intestinal tract. Salmonella is a bacteria typically, sorry people, just slipping a little bit. Maybe I should put my glasses up a bit more so I can read this properly. The bacteria typically live in animal and human intestines and are shed through basically, doing crap. Humans become infected most frequently through contaminated water or food. And part of all that also culminates into the fact of, they said from those marketplaces, a lot of the animals were all kept together, and so that caused, especially some of the animals were live. So in these marketplaces over in China and Korea and all that, and that was also causing cross-contamination of foods as well. So it was somewhat like a food poisoning, which comes into my part of this whole theory about it too. Food poisoning is usually caused by bacteria, which goes back to salmonella being a bacteria. There we go, there's a connection. The food poisoning is caused by bacteria, bloody diarrhea, and is most likely to be a symptom of food poisoning. Projectile vomiting, stomach cramps are often caused by this neurovirus, a type of stomach virus. Stomach viruses take longer to develop, but are usually go away about 24 to 28 hours after symptoms begin. The viruses from animals being slaughtered, like bats, monkeys, and everything you can think of, all cross-contaminating each other in the marketplaces surrounding areas where it is proven, where this is sort of proven to come from. But impossible. Some people say that my theory about the herbicides, it's impossible for herbicides to kill like that. Some fungicides, insecticides would have visual signs of poisoning, and basically it just wouldn't happen that fast. Yeah, you might have a theory there, WM, but here's the big but. But unless it was some kind of new experimental herbicide or pesticide or insecticide or whatever, if it was that, if it was a new version, then basically the time it would actually take to infect or to kill the insect could be marginalised by a simple concept of how long it would actually take. It could happen really fast, it could happen really slowly, depending on what's actually used. So unless it was, and it could kill like that. Same for all those things. But like I said, it's definitely theoretically plausible. My theory is theoretically plausible, people. So again, to the scientists looking into, this is basically a thing to say to the scientists scientists in China and Korea and even Australia who are trying to find out where this coronavirus came from. I still think you should try and actually look to see what kind of chemicals were used to spray on insects and grasses and lots of bugs and various things like that could possibly create some kind of mutation virus. I reckon this is the path I reckon they should go and have a look at. Let me know, people, if they ever did go down this path. Leave a comment below if you think you think these guys have done this, or send me a link below about if anyone's actually gone down this path to think there could be a connection between some sort of pesticide or herbicide. And there we go, people. I'm just showing you again. This is kind of my theory of how the coronavirus could have started. Like I said, as we can see, the process of the food web or food chain again starts off with like something like a deer, then that, but we do have insects here, and animals eat the insects, and then they get infected, and so I still think my theory is pretty much sound, that it's possible that chemical agent was sprayed on crops, or sprayed on to keep insect, or sprayed on insects, and those animals such as the bats and the pangolins and things, they ate that poisoned stuff, and then from that, then basically the virus generated from that that toxin, people ate that animal, and therefore then that toxin and that possible virus that started the virus infected the people, and then we got this whole thing where people are now infected. So there's a theory for you people. I'm not trying to scare people here. I'm not saying, I'll say again, this is just a theory, but it's worth looking into. I reckon and highly suspect that people who watch this video go and look into my theory. If I'm wrong, I'm okay with that if I'm wrong. But it's just a possible theory of where this could have come from. And I just think it'd just be an interesting concept so people can actually go and look and go check it out. And I said, get back to me and see what findings you can find, to see if any scientists out there who are studying on this coronavirus thing. Drop me a comment below, or anyone who else is interested in looking into the coronavirus. Drop me a link below on what you think, where the coronavirus actually originally started from. I'm not just saying just from the marketplaces. I'm talking about in the food chain. Where did it originally start? And my theory is on the insects and the grasses and all the kind of the vegetables and all that kind of stuff. The vegetables, the grasses, the bugs. I reckon the animals ate that, and then that's what sort of the body, probably the animals' body was trying to counteract that, creating a virus to counteract the toxin or virus. Trying to counteract the toxin, creating a virus, and so again, just a theory, people. Go check it out as a possible theory. It's definitely plausible. So I'd like to see somebody else maybe even do a video about my video here about how plausible this theory really is. Because I mean, I could be completely wrong. I mean, I could be also 100% correct. I don't know. So people, just something for you guys to look into. And have a great day, people. Catch you all later. Bye.